Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the confusing world of finance and give you the real scoop. Today we've got Blue Ridge Bankshares, and let's just say they've got a new plan up their sleeve and it involves giving themselves a financial pat on the back. Alright, so what we're looking at here is a pretty standard report filed by Blue Ridge Bankshares Inc., a company you might recognize from its stock symbol BRBS. Now, this report, a Form 8K, is essentially a way for companies to announce big news that isn't part of their regular schedule. And the big news from August 25th, 2025 is all about them deciding to buy back their own stock. Think of it like a company saying, hey, we think our own shares are a good investment, so we're going to go out and buy some of them off the market. This specific filing tells us they've officially kicked off a share repurchase program. What does that mean in plain English? Well, the board of directors has given the green light to buy back up to a whopping $15 million worth of their own shares. So how are they going to do this? They've got a few options. They can buy shares on the regular stock market, just like any other investor would. They can also buy them in larger chunks called block trades or even arrange private deals. They also mentioned that they could buy shares when people exercise their warrants, which are essentially options to buy stock at a certain price. Now, here's a bit of a technical detail, but it's important. They can use something called a Rule 10b5-1 trading plan. What this does is it allows them to buy back shares even when company insiders might be restricted from trading due to having important non-public information. It's basically a pre-arranged plan that allows for orderly repurchases without the appearance of insider trading. But here's a crucial point. They're not saying they absolutely will buy back all $15 million worth or even any of it. It all depends on things like the stock price, the overall economy, and what opportunities might pop up. They're keeping their options open. And don't expect them to be locked into this for any set period. They explicitly state the program can be changed, paused, or even stopped completely at any time for any reason. Factors like market conditions, how much it costs to buy back shares, if they have better places to put their money, and their own cash needs all play a role. The key takeaway here is that this is a flexible tool, not a hard commitment. Now, you might be asking, why would a company buy back its own stock? Well, there are a few key reasons. First, it can signal to the market that management believes the company's stock is undervalued. If the company itself thinks it's a good deal, maybe others should too. Second, by reducing the number of shares outstanding, any profits the company makes are spread across fewer shares. This can increase earnings per share, a key metric that investors watch closely. And third, it can return capital to shareholders in a tax-efficient way compared to paying out dividends. However, it's also important to look at the flip side. If a company uses too much cash to buy back its stock, it might not have enough money left for essential investments in growth, research, or weathering tough economic times. It's a balancing act. This filing is signed by Judy C. Gavon, who holds the title of Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. This confirms that the company's financial leadership has reviewed and approved this announcement. And as is standard practice, they've attached their official press release as an exhibit. This document, Exhibit 99.1, likely contains more details about the program and may include statements from the CEO or other executives. Now, looking at Blue Ridge Bankshares itself, they are a regional bank holding company. Their primary operations revolve around providing a range of banking services through their subsidiary, Blue Ridge Bank. Their business model is pretty much what you'd expect from a community bank, taking deposits and making loans with a focus on their local markets. Companies like this are often sensitive to interest rate changes and the overall health of the economy, especially in the sectors they lend to. So what's the story here? Blue Ridge Bankshares is telling the market they feel confident enough in their future that they're willing to put their money on themselves. They're not saying they're desperate to get rid of shares, but rather that they see value and want to manage their capital efficiently. It's a positive signal, but one we need to watch to see if it truly translates into better shareholder value or if it's just a financial maneuver. When we look at companies' financial health, we want to see a sustainable growth in revenue and profits, a strong balance sheet with manageable debt, and a clear strategy. A share buyback program can be a part of a sound capital allocation strategy, but it needs to be balanced with reinvestment in the business and maintaining financial stability. In conclusion, Blue Ridge Bankshares is launching a share repurchase program, a move that can be seen as a vote of confidence in their own stock. They're giving themselves the flexibility to buy back up to $15 million of their shares. This is a signal that management believes their stock is a good investment and a way to potentially boost earnings per share. However, as always, we need to keep an eye on how they execute this plan and ensure it doesn't detract from the company's ability to invest in its future growth or maintain its financial strength. It's a tool to manage capital, and like any tool, its effectiveness depends on how it's used. What's your take on Blue Ridge Bankshares' decision to buy back stock? Do you think it's a smart move for the company and its investors? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more clear and simple insights into the financial world. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for even more discussions and analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.